Hello, this is Enoch Rajkumar Raghu and my student ID is 13686086. My group mates are Yatin, Kaushik, Nitya and Quack. We together form group 6 and our project is EEG based emotion classification. EEG is electroencephalogram, which is a electrophysiological monitoring method which is used to monitor brain activities of a person. It's a non-invasive method with electrodes attached to the scalp. The waves in EEG are alpha, beta, delta, and theta. The frequency range of delta is below 3.5 Hz. The theta is from 3.5 Hz to 7.5 Hz. Alpha is from 7.5 Hz to 13 Hz. And the beta is above everything, which is above 13 Hz. We acquired the data from a data collection unit, which is recommended by our tutors. The data from deep dataset includes 32 subjects, which includes 16 male and 16 female who are aging from 19 to 37. We took 40 trials of each data, conducting 41-minute videos. Each trial lasted for 63 seconds, including 60 seconds video and 3 pre-trial baseline. The manual rating was included in dataset by each subject at the end of each trial on the scale of 1 to 9, which determines 4 different emotions: arousal, valence, dominance, and liking. In this dataset, there are 4 different emotions recorded. However, in this project, we are mainly focusing on 2 emotions, which is arousal and valence. Over to Ethan.
Hello everyone, my name is Yatin. My student ID is 13728340. Coming to this slide of data pre-processing, this is the plotting of raw EEG data obtained from the channel 1 of the first video of an 31-year-old male participant. As this was a pre-processed data, we got a clean EEG signal without any noise. During the spectral analysis, we got to see the FFT spectral in which they have removed some of the information in between 0 to 4 Hz and 45 to 70 Hz. Thus, we have used the information from 4 to 45 Hz for our further analysis. This EEG signal is based on 18 channels, as we have seen only one channel in the previous slide. We have plotted all together in time domain based on 18 channels of the first video of the first participant. And this is the FFT spectrum of video 1 based on 18 channels of the first participant. As we can see here as well, the information from 0 to 4 Hz and 45 to 70 Hz is completely eliminated during the pre-processing. During the feature extraction, we have taken the mean value of one column to minimize the values for our classification. And then we have segmented the signal into 10 6 seconds file for one particular video using the mat2cell MATLAB command. At the end, we had about 400 EEG signals lasting for 6 seconds. Based on this particular graph, we have 4 classes of classification, but in this project, we are focusing only on 2 emotional labels called arousal and valence. Thank you.
Hi, so I'm going to explain about the channel selection. For this experiment, we are recording the EEG using the 1020 international system with a total of 32 electrodes that is displayed in this image over here. And since our project is mainly based on emotional classification, we're going to consider only the frontal lobe part, which is responsible for the emotions. And of these entire electrodes, which is displayed over the image, we use three sets of data as three sets as a major one, and we can notice the three sets of electrodes. The 18 channels, and all these 18 channels are attached in the frontal lobe part, and so it's attached to the scalp in the frontal region. So totally we are using 18 channels for the analysis here. And so moving on to the feature extraction, this will be the flow chart over here. And since the source in which we referred for this entire project, it had 32 subjects with 40 videos and 40 channels in total. We are just considering 5 subjects in the beginning, and 5 subjects are exposed to 40 videos, and the EEG signals are recorded from the 18 channels that is present on the frontal lobe. And for this purpose, we are just choosing the sampling frequency to be 128 Hz here, and then we are just rearranging the subjects and the videos for the analysis purpose. Calculating the feature values based on each channel, we'll be getting a total of 5 subjects that is exposed to 40 videos, and in total we'll be getting out 200 trials. So it can be seen that for the first feature, we'll be having 200 trials into 18 feature values, and similarly for the second feature, we'll be having 200 trials for 18 feature values, and this will be continuing for the n feature and for the n minus 1 feature also. So if we are combining all the features, we'll be having like 18 cross n, I mean 18 times the n feature values. And so this is initially for the 5 subjects. So once we get some kind of result, we'll be just changing the subjects to, increasing the subjects to 10, 11 and 12. So this will be the basic flow chart for the feature extraction. For the feature extraction part, we're just mainly using the 5 statistical features, that is mean, skewness, kurtosis, median, standard deviation, variance, and power bandwidth. That is exposed in both frequency and time domain. And the extracted features will be tested in a classification model to see their performance and accuracies. And the accuracies will be detected based on the highest value. And this will be gained only by doing various trials with all these features. So we have to undergo various trials to find which combination of features will give the highest accuracy of values. And so this will be the equation for some of the feature values which we are using in this feature extraction part. Thank you.
Hello, I'm going to explain about the flowchart classification. So initially we get the data set from the feature extraction. So we have 3 types of data sets, that is set 1, set 2 and set 3. Each data set has different channels. So set 1 has 11 channels, set 2 has 14 channels and set 3 has 18 channels. So initially we start with 5 subjects and 11 channels and gradually increase to compare them. So once the data set is obtained, we separate them into 2 different sets, that is the training data set and the test data set. So after obtaining the training data set, the training data set is imported into the classification to train the model first. So if after classification, if there is any error, we need to check the data set again, or else we can continue with the performance analysis, where the results are obtained in the confusion matrix, and the value with higher accuracy is compared and obtained. So once the value is obtained, we try to classify which emotion state it belongs to. And that is the end of the process, and Wak would take over.
Hi, my name is Wayne and I'm the last person in our group. I'm going to explain the result of this project, EEG Paid Emotional Classification. I'm going to talk about the emotional label first. Each participant personally have a chance to rate after they watch each video. Therefore, those rating will vary per video trial. Those video per participant will be grouped into 4 different classes, namely high arousal, high valence, low arousal, low valence, low arousal, high valence, and high arousal, low valence, corresponding to class 1, 2, 3, and 4 in our training set and test set respectively. To demonstrate it, we classified them in 4 quadrants in the motion model mentioned previously in Nathia part. And here is an output example for participant number 1, and it would be similar for the other participant. Each point represents for 1 video trial, as you can see over here on the graph, and each color represents each class 1, 2, 3, and 4. The result will be the response column in our training dataset. Then we're going to move to EEG data. Before extracting features, we did segment each EEG signal per channel for 1 video into 10 smaller EEG windows lasting for 6 seconds so as to increase the number of features values in each feature column. Therefore, one person watching 40 videos analyzed based on 11 channels at the beginning with 10 windows lasting for 6 seconds containing 768 data points. Then after feature extraction, there are 10 features for 1 channel per video, as you can see here. So 1 column in our data set will be 1 channel. And here I already extract the features, which is mean features. And here for 1 channel, we have 10 different features value for 1 video. Then all feature value were normalized by scaling between 0 and 1 to be less computational work for MATLAB. When classifying our datasets, the following line of code will implement for each feature column. I use for loop to do this step. Then we're going to move to feature selections. We simply start with 5 participants watching 40 videos placed on 11 channels at the beginning with 10 windows containing 768 data points. 7 selected features, which is statistical features, and 1 frequency domain features, mean, skewness, cosines, standard deviation, variance, median, and power bandwidth. Then we test each individual features and observe the performance based on the accuracies. Then we select a group of features having the highest accuracies and group them into different combination as we have created here. Set number 1, we have mean, standard deviation, and variance. And set number 2, we have only mean and standard deviations. Then we compare the performance based on the accuracy got from confusion metric and area under curve from RRC curve, and we finalize the feature set for final classification. And we got set number 2, mean and standard deviation, and I will explain the result right now. At this stage, our training data set include 11 features column and 1 label column with 10 fold cross validations. And we actually use 4 different types of learning machine technique, which are fine tree, KNN, support vector machines, and baggage in sample. And here, as you can see, there are a set of 7 selected features that I mentioned previously. And I already highlighted the accuracy of the mean, standard deviation, and variance. And as you can see, that is higher than the other features accuracies. For example, like the support vector machine, 67.1% for mean features, or 50.4% for standard deviations, and 44.2% for variance compared to other features. Then we select those 3 features for further analysis, and we also remove the fine tree and keep the other 3 learning machine for the next round. Then we're going to use the features combination that we have created previously. That is 2 set. Set number 1, mean features, standard deviation, and variance, and set number 2 only have mean and standard deviations. And we apply those 3 previous learning machine technique for this round. And as you can see over here, we have the accuracy for each class and the overall accuracies. And for example, for the support vector machine, you can actually see that the overall accuracy is 58.1% compared to 67.0% from set number 2. And the other accuracy is from set number 2 are slightly higher than the accuracy got from set number 1. Therefore, we decide to choose the feature set number 2 for further analysis, and we still keep those learning machine technique for the next round. After we got the expect features combinations, we start to increase the number of channels to see how improved the performance would be if we change the number of the channels. That's why we change it up to 14 channel set number 2 and 18 channel set number 3, but it's still located in prefrontal loop and frontal loop, which are associated with emotion. So we still keep the number of participants is 5, and we still keep the learning machine techniques. And as you can see over here, we have the accuracy based on each class and overall accuracies. And I already highlighted support vector machines, which have the higher accuracies. Overall is 69.0 for 14 channel set, and compared to 71.8% above 70% from set number 3, 18 channel. Therefore, we select channel set number 3, 18 channel for further analysis, and we still give the learning machine technique for the next round as well. After we got the expect number of the channel, which is 18 channel, we start to think of increase the number of participants. So we actually analyze 5 participants and 10 participants in this case, and then we got the result exactly the same. Overall accuracy from 5 participants and 18 channel, which is 71.8% compared to 74.2% from 10 participant and 18 channel set. So we finally got the promising accuracy result for our classification model, and we export this training model and start to classify our test dataset. And here I just want to show quickly the result from the combination of 10 participants with 18 channel that I just showed previously. And as you can see over here, that is the confusion matrix that I got from MATLAB. And here the accuracy pay on each class number 1, 2, 3, and 4 are very high, above 70%. For 78.6%, 71.3%, 75.2%, and 69.6% for class 1, 2, 3, and 4 respectively. And here is the ROC curve for each class number 1, 2, 3, and 4, and it shows the area under curve, which are very high in each class, mostly above 89%. After that, we import our test dataset that we prepared before and imported in the training classification model that we got from Classification Learner. And here is our prediction value for test dataset that I plot. After we got the prediction value for our test dataset, we construct the confusion metric for those values based on the label that we got from original dataset. And here is the confusion metric for our prediction values. And as you can see that the accuracy pay on each class number 1, 2, 3, and 4 are still very high, 71.5%, 75.2%, 72.4%, and 85% for class number 1, 2, 3, and 4 respectively. And we are very happy for this result. For further directions, EEG analysis based on 18 channel located on prefrontal lobe would be promising for emotion classification. However, there are still a lot of issues regarding feature extraction and classification. Outliers would be an issue describing the classification process. Research needs to be done to eliminate those outliers. Only using statistical features would be also lowering our accuracies. More extracted features should be included to improve the classification performance, such as time frequency domain features. Thank you for listening.